We liked the idea of downsizing.
We realized that in our big house that we wouldn't go into half the rooms. It would be days before we enter in some of the rooms. Like we lived in 4 rooms. We don't really need that space. It's just more for us to have to clean and heat.
Hi, I'm Julie.
I'm Pat.
And this is our tiny house.
In the White Mountains of New Hampshire.
We've been living in our tiny house for 4 years.
Tiny Homes of Maine built this house. It's their Sebago model. It's 10 by 38 feet. We're on 3.9 acres and it's zoned for tiny homes.
As well as our tiny home, we also have a gear shed and we have an office shed that also serves as our guest house.
The site work we had to do on property was the well, septic, and then the driveway and a little bit of grading so the water drained away from the foundation site for the house. On the outside of the house, we have added on a screened-in porch, someplace where you get to enjoy the outside during the bug season, along with an outdoor shower.
All right, now that you've seen the outside, let's go check out the inside. Welcome to our tiny home. It's 380 square feet. One of the reasons we chose this model is because we liked the 2 lofts so that we could each have our own space in the tiny home. Let's start in the living room. So something that was very important to us was to have a space for both of us, as well as the cat. So we also wanted to make sure that we had an off-grid heating source if we needed it, since we lose power. So we have a wood stove that does heat this whole place up very nicely. We lost power for a couple of days over Christmas Eve, and with that we were able to keep the house at 82 degrees that entire time. So it really did come in handy. We have put in cat stairs and platforms for our cat to be able to look out the windows here. We found that our cat thought it was a good idea to jump from that loft over to those stairs over the wood stove, so we had to install a beam so that he didn't wind up barbecuing himself. And up here we have a full expandable drying rack to be able to dry our clothes. We have storage underneath the stairs. And in the back of the house, we have our bedroom. We found that we liked being able to both get into the bed on the sides, so we switched the orientation of the bed to this side, and we actually used this space for clothes where the bed was, and we actually modified the closet to be an office. We took the door off of this closet so that we didn't have problems opening the door into the bed. So that made it a lot easier to maneuver around. So it wound up working better for us. We asked for a space heater. So this is actually in the wall here, is able to warm up the room quite nicely. We were thinking long term that if there was ever any mobility issues, we could go without the lofts if we needed to and still use our downstairs space.
We met back in the summer of 2003, actually at a Boy Scout camp in Connecticut. I was running the rock climbing program. She was going to Yukon and running the trading post. Yeah, 23 years, we've been married for 18 of them.
I work as a nurse practitioner in a community health center doing primary care.
Been working as a climbing guide out of North Conway for almost 2 decades now, as well as being a bike mechanic. Do a lot of rock and ice climbing, really enjoy ice climbing, especially waterfalls.
We did wind up buying our first house, which was actually a pretty big house. Pat's a bike mechanic. Maybe he needed extra space to do that. Pandemic hit, got a job up in this area, which is about an hour away from where we were living, too far to commute. We decided to move up to this area. There was not a lot of housing up in this area, It was either going back to fixing up a house, which we were pretty done with, or completely out of our price range. So we decided to look at pieces of land instead that really were all about the things that we enjoyed, being able to be out in nature. The way we could do that financially was to do a tiny house. We're going to be walking out of the bedroom and then we'll go up into my loft. And I really liked the idea of having stairs so we could have storage, but we also didn't have to use the ladder on both sides of the house for moving things up and down. So I'd like to point out the air exchanger here. This house was built so airtight and so well, it makes sure that there's no buildup of moisture in the house. So this is my loft. We have this set up so that I can be over here and Pat can be over in his loft, and we kind of have our own space, a place to be able to read. I have done work up here before. We got the printer and office supplies all set up. I store extra clothes and gear here for our outdoor activities. This skylight, we have one in each loft. This actually serves as our egress for code, for making sure that we have access out if there's a fire. I like having the space just to have quiet time, which is important. Be able to read or work on the computer and have it a little bit away from everything else in the house, which is nice. The advantage of having a little bit of a bigger house is you do get more options for privacy than if you were in a smaller tiny house. So that's one of the reasons we picked a larger model.
When we traveled in our tiny house, we parked in so many different places. We never knew what water quality to expect, so we really needed a high quality water filter. Too bad we didn't have the WaterDrop 10 UA Pro under sink water filter. This would have been a lifesaver. When water enters, it undergoes an intensive filtration process that effectively removes harmful substances, all while improving taste and odor. WaterDrop expanded the filter surface by 20-fold, resulting in 20 times the dirt capturing capacity, improving efficiency, and reducing clogs. Installation is super easy. No drilling required. Its compact design makes it easy to fit in any tiny home or RV. It has an impressive 12-month lifespan, and the replacement filter costs only $30.99. So if you're looking for a long-lasting, effective, easy-to-use under-the-sink filter, look no further than the WaterDrop 10 UA Pro. Perfect for renters, RVers, and small space dwellers. Click the link in the description to learn more and get yours today.
So here we're back in the middle of our house in our kitchen. This is our kitchen table, kind of do everything table. We actually asked for this especially. They never added this kitchen table in before when they had the staircase, just because of the space it took up. But we like it because we have storage underneath it for cookbooks. Moving further back into the kitchen, one thing that we did ask for was a gas range because we wanted to be able to cook if we lost power. That way we didn't have to worry about trying to hook up a generator to run an electric stove top for us. We did want a deep bay sink. Knowing that I'm going to be the dishwasher most of the time, it was kind of important to us. I do most of the cooking just because my schedule lets me be home more regularly at dinner time. We did like the fact that we had a double stack of cabinets up top. So that way we have our dishes and then our pantry is above us that we can access through the ladder. The kitchen works out really well for us. Kind of limited countertop makes it easy to keep it clean. Our bigger appliances get put into that back corner where the shelving is. We also added in this cabinet above us to just kind of store those random kitchen appliances that we do need from time to time. And moving into the front of the house, we have our bathroom. One of the most important things was we wanted an on-demand water system, and they were able to find us a small electric on-demand system. They gave us space for a single unit washer dryer. We did like the option of a full-length countertop, so it gave us a little bit more space in here. The washer dryer unit, it works really well. Super efficient on the water intake aspect of it, and its power draw. It's very minimum on its power. Even though it does have a dryer unit, in the summer months, we do hang most of our clothes outside to dry. In the winter, we will hang stuff out by the stove because the dry cycle on this is several hours long. So this is our shower unit, nicely tucked into the corner. We did have to get used to the fact that we had to step around the toilet to get in and out of the shower. And nice thing, we have this very large window that can open up and help vent out if it gets too damp in here. The contractors, when they came to put in our well, didn't want to try to put the tank under the house because they were afraid it was going to rupture in the cold. So we went with this mini drive system that sits in here. And that cabinet that's above the door in our kitchen came from here. And then we gave us outdoor space for our cat through this bathroom window. And now we'll check out the last space in the house, which is my loft. And to get into my loft, we have to use the ladder. So we just have to move it from one bar to the next bar to get into it. This is my spot to kind of just relax and spend some time by myself. I have my little library back there. And then I also use this loft a lot when I'm trying to get my climbing gear organized. It gives me a place to lay it all out where I'm not kind of taking up the whole middle of the house. I'm up here usually every day. Sometimes it's just to find something random I've been looking for. During the nights when they say we're going to have a Northern Lights show, a lot of times I'll hop up through the skylight so I can get onto the roof. Normally, if we have somebody stay with us and they don't feel comfortable staying outside in the other building, we'll set up a queen-size air mattress in here for them. It does get hot up here in the winter time when the wood stove is burning. When we were looking for land, we probably looked at a dozen properties throughout the area. A lot of them were going to require actually a decent amount of land work to get them either level or remove the trees. And this was actually the last piece of property we looked at. Luckily, the town of Littleton doesn't have any restrictions on housing size. We called them up and they were pretty much like, nah, have fun, build whatever you want. It made it super simple, and luckily our neighbors were building their house all in the same time. They thought it was going to be kind of cool to see a small house there. I think our neighbors behind us liked it because they knew we weren't going to be blocking their view with their big house. It was a very easy process for us. The house itself cost about $130,000. All the site work to get it ready was about another $100,000 on top of that. And we got lucky that we sold our house down in Conway, which provided us the ability to not need a mortgage or anything. We could just pay for everything outright. We were talking with Tiny Homes of Maine, and they were telling us that sometimes getting a mortgage for a tiny house can be a difficult process. So we were very happy that we were able to sell our old house into this. Everything is paid for.
I wouldn't be able to see us living in such a beautiful place on a beautiful piece of land, and we would have not been able to otherwise make this work for us. I think it still is an ongoing process in making the tiny house work for us. I think that our needs are going to change over time, and even in the 4 years that we've been here, we've been able to make many adjustments. When I had to work from home, we were able to make modifications. We've been adjusting pretty continuously, I would say, for meeting our needs.
The fact that the energy bills for this house are just super low. Things stays well heated, so it just makes life a lot easier. One of the things I like most about it is I can vacuum the entire house without ever having to move the plug. It makes it really simple and nice for that.
Thanks for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian, and this is our DIY tiny house on our homestead in Oregon.
Looking for more tiny inspiration? Watch these videos. But if you're looking for something specific, visit our channel homepage to browse tiny homes by category.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Hope to see you soon.